On September 7, 1996, Tupac Shakur, one of the most influential rappers of his time, was in Las Vegas after attending a Mike Tyson fight. That night, while riding in a BMW driven by Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight, a white Cadillac pulled up beside them at a traffic light. In a sudden burst of gunfire, Tupac was struck multiple times, and he tragically died on September 13th. Who was behind the shooting? Or was Tupac's murder part of a larger feud? Or something even deeper and more personal? Tupac Amaru Shakur stands as one of the most influential and complex figures in the history of hip-hop.
Tupac, it means determined to overcome my obstacles.
Born in 1971 to parents active in the Black Panther Party, Tupac grew up surrounded by political struggle, social awareness, and artistic expression. These early influences shaped not only his worldview, but also the powerful messages that would come to define his music. By the time he released his debut album, Tupacalypse Now, in 1991, he had already begun carving out a reputation as a young, outspoken voice challenging issues such as police brutality, poverty, and systemic racism.
Definitely, when I get to perform my rhymes, I get to express myself in an even deeper way and go deeper into what I want to say. And I'm the director, and I'm the star, and I'm the editor, and I'm the production assistant, so it's like, it's acting just on a smaller scale.
Tupac's life took a significant turn in 1995 when he signed with Marion Suge Knight's Death Row Records. At the time, Tupac was imprisoned on a controversial sexual assault conviction.
How you doing? Can you tell me how you doing today?
Well, I just had to listen to the prosecution's closing argument, and it was just so far from the truth that it really just has me drained at the end of the day. But I just want print the facts so everybody can sort it out. My life is ruined because nobody has a chance to get the facts.
And the fact is that there was no semen found.
No semen found, no forcible entry, no entry into the anal, no nothing, none of that, you know.
Suge Knight offered to post his bail, reportedly around $1.4 million, in exchange for Tupac joining the label. Upon his release, Tupac entered the death row environment with explosive energy, recording music at a remarkable pace. Under Suge Knight's guidance, he released All Eyes on Me, one of the first major double albums in hip-hop history, which became a massive commercial success. While Suge Knight provided Tupac with protection, resources, and a platform larger than any he'd previously had, their relationship was also complicated. Death Row was notorious for its aggressive, sometimes violent atmosphere, and Tupac became deeply entangled in the East Coast and West Coast rivalry that the label helped fuel. Suge's influence pushed Tupac toward a harder, more confrontational image, intensifying conflicts already brewing across the hip-hop industry. Central to this turmoil was Tupac's feud with Christopher Wallace, better known as the Notorious B.I.G. Once friends, the two rappers became embroiled in one of the most infamous rivalries in music history. Tensions began after Tupac was shot and robbed in New York in 1994, an incident he believed Biggie and his associates were aware of, though Biggie denied any involvement. Their relationship deteriorated quickly, and the media magnified the feud into a symbolic battle between East Coast and West Coast rap scenes. Diss tracks, public insults, and escalating hostility followed, culminating in an atmosphere of danger and mistrust throughout the industry. On the night of September 7, 1996, Tupac Shakur attended the Bruce Seldon vs. Mike Tyson boxing match at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas with Suge Knight. Tupac and Knight had planned to go to Club 662, a Las Vegas venue owned by Knight, where Tupac was scheduled to perform at a charity event later that evening. After the fight, the two left the MGM Grand in a convoy of cars. But before they could reach the club, a series of events unfolded that would change hip-hop history forever. While stopped at a red light on the intersection of Flamingo Road and Koval Lane, a white Cadillac pulled alongside the BMW that Knight and Tupac were riding in. Without warning, the occupants of the Cadillac opened fire. Tupac was struck multiple times, ultimately suffering injuries that would lead to his death 6 days later. The shooting not only ended the life of one of hip-hop's most influential artists, but also intensified the sense of danger and unresolved tension surrounding the East Coast-West Coast rivalry of the 1990s.
Complications from several bullet wounds sustained Saturday night, September 7th. He was 25 years old. Shakur was shot 4 times after leaving the Mike Tyson boxing match in Las Vegas in a car driven by Marion Suge Knight, the head of his label, Death Row Records. The shots were fired from a Cadillac that drove up alongside Knight's BMW.
The circumstances around the shooting have led to decades of questions, speculations, and theories over the years. Who was responsible? Was it gang-related or something bigger? Was Biggie Smalls or Bad Boy Records somehow involved? Some theorists speculate about Suge Knight's involvement, despite him being in the car with Tupac when the shooting happened.
I like rappers who are gonna say what they have to say. You know, I really like that. He didn't hold nothing back, he didn't bite his tongue. But like
Everybody stand up on their feet first and foremost, please. No, don't make no noise. Every brother in here, please take your hat off. At 7:03 p.m. New York time, 4:03 p.m. Las Vegas time, Tupac Shakur passed away, y'all.
For an in-depth insight on the series of events leading to Tupac's murder, Tupac's bodyguard, Frank Alexander, recalled and found the night unusual. Security plans changed, key guards were separated, and Tupac left unprotected, leaving Alexander questioning the chaotic decisions surrounding the tragedy.
How I became Tupac's bodyguard, I was working security at Club 662. I got a phone call from Reggie earlier that day, and he said that, hey, Suge wants to talk to you. I think that we got a proposition for you. I go, what is it? What is it? He goes, it's concerning Tupac. They got there that night to 662, and Pac rolled up with Suge, and I went and greeted him, and I opened up the door to let him out. He was like, yo, Big Frank, you here, man? You here? I was like, no, man, what's up? He goes, man, you're gonna be my bodyguard, man. I chose you to be my bodyguard. I was like, oh, cool, man, right? I had no idea prior to that until he actually had told me.
Frank Alexander and Tupac became friends through Alexander's work as his bodyguard. Over time, trust grew, and their professional relationship evolved into a genuine personal bond. September 7, 1996, 2:30 p.m. Tupac Shakur arrives in Las Vegas. 5:30 p.m. People start lining up at Club 662, where Tupac and Mike Tyson were to appear after the boxing match.
So all of the security that was going to be in town for the Mike Tyson Seldon fight, we had a meeting that day. That day, we were told not to bring our weapons into the club after the fight, not to have our weapons on our person, to either leave them in our hotel room or to leave them in our vehicles.
Has there ever been a situation where you were told to leave your weapon prior to this?
We were never told prior to September the 7th to leave our weapons anywhere, other than the fact if we were going out of the state of California by airplane to a video shoot or on tour, we knew commonsensely we couldn't carry a weapon on an airplane. So more than likely we would have left our weapons at that time, but we were never told, there was never a meeting held specifically to tell us to leave our weapons, period. And as the world knows, the fight was boom, 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 the fight was over. After the fight, Tupac's and Suge's thing was to go to the back where, Mike's dressing room. So we went backstage. We go backstage, and we're waiting on Tyson to come back there. And Pac's back there, he's all excited. His boy just knocked out Selden. 50 blows, he just hit him 50 times. You count him. So, I'm back there with him and everything, and Suge is back there. So Suge says something to Pac, and then the next thing I know, we're leaving. Tyson didn't even make it out the ring to come down. Everyone shows up, and one of Suge's homeboys, his name is Trevon, he comes over and he whispers something in Pac's right ear, because I'm on his left. He whispers something. Next thing I know, Tupac takes off running. He took off running, and I went off running behind him, and when he turned the corner, there was this guy standing there. Little did I know who he was. He ran up to him, and he swung. And then the guy swung back, and then Pac weaved, and then Pac swung again. And at this time, there was like 3 or 4 blows thrown. Tupac had this medallion on that he had recently purchased, and it broke. When it broke, he went down to pick it up. When he went down to pick it up, I grabbed him. When I grabbed him, I threw him against the wall, so I had him out of the fight. At this time, everyone else is running up, as clearly the MGM footage shows. The guy is Orlando Anderson, now that we know who he is.
Orlando Anderson was a member of the Southside Compton Crips, a Los Angeles area gang. He had allegedly stolen a medallion belonging to a death row member, and this led to Tupac punching him in the face. Anderson fell to the floor and was stomped on by Tupac, Suge Knight, and several others.
We get back over to the Lexor. Suge said, hey, I'm going to go up and change. Pac was there, I'm going to go up and change. We'll meet back down in the valet. All right, cool. We're down in the, at this time, we left his room. We're down in the valet parking. We're waiting on Suge. Suge shows up. While we're down in the valet, all of the hoochies, all of the groupies, everybody that knew Tupac and Suge was, Suge, can we go to the club? Suge, Pac, can we go? Suge said, let's go. He and Pac was walking to Suge's BMW. I'm walking with them. When we get to the car, Pac turned to me and goes, yo, Frank. He pulled the keys out, he handed me the keys. He goes, drive the little homies, because we're gonna be drinking tonight and you'll be able to drive us back. So I was like, what car you want me to drive? He goes, drive Kadada's car. And I didn't even know where the car was. I go, where is it? He goes, it's right there. He goes, the homies will show you where it's at. So I was like, all right. So Suge gets in his car, he and Pac, and the entourage is starting to form now. Suge takes off. I'm right behind him. I'm the bodyguard on point. Theoretically and honestly, there should have been 3 or 4 more bodyguards with us that particular time. Later on, I found out that with security, that there was 22, about 20 to 22 security personnel for this night. Everyone was called to Club 662 to set up the security and get the people rolling in over there. So all of the security was there. So I was the only one left with Pac. Keep in mind, my weapon was in my car. I didn't have a phone. I had no way of communication. Reggie was also over at the club. Reggie normally is Suge's bodyguard, and Reggie is always with Suge. That night, why he wasn't with Suge, only Reggie knows that. At this time, everyone in the car, not just me, looked at the gas and was like, yo, Frank, we're gonna run out of gas. I was like, what y'all want me to do, pull over and get gas? I go, you know, if we pull over, we lost them, right? So I said, I can't pull over. I might as well take the chance and run out of gas, right? Thinking we're just gonna go to Suge's and from Suge's back to the club. But the light had been on forever at this point. We get back on the strip at this point, and why the car didn't run out of gas is a miracle right now to me, because it should have. We get back on the strip. We're proceeding to go down the strip. It's a fight night. The fight's over. The strip is jam-packed, crowded. Probably about in front of the Excalibur Hotel, which is right by Tropicana on Las Vegas Strip. Tupac and Suge was in the car in front of me, and their music was playing pretty loud because we could hear it. And there was bicycle cops. A couple of bicycle cops pulled up, and one of them went over to Suge's side and asked him, I guess, to turn down the music, I'm assuming. And then the next thing I know, Suge opens the door, steps out of the car. He and a cop walks to the back of the car, and he opens up the trunk. The car was brand new, didn't have a license plate on it. So he looked in the trunk, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm thinking, oh, shit, I hope they don't get popped. He let him go. So now we're still in gridlock traffic. So we proceed to go down the strip. We're going down the strip. Pac and Suge are up there doing their thing, talking. Myself and Outlaws were in there, listening to their music. We get to Flamingo off of Las Vegas Strip. We got to turn right. We make a right off of the strip. The next light is Colville. Little did we know that anything was about to happen. We pull up to the light. I am the second car. Actually, I'm the third car. One of Suge's homeboys was in front of Suge, which never, ever, ever happened with anyone being in front of Suge. Then another one of his homeboys, Trevon, was to the left of Suge, which would have been to his side of the car. So Trevon to the left, you have K-Dove in the front, and you have me in the back. And we're sitting at this light. September, it's hot, sticky. We're all just sitting there pretty much just vegging out, waiting on the light to change. Then all of a sudden, I noticed this white Cadillac. Cadillac pulls up, and it was not like a thought of mine that something was about to happen, because in the entourage, as we're proceeding to go to Club 662, women are like, yo, Pac, Suge, and can we go? Groupies and things like that. So it was not anything out of the ordinary for this car to be pulling up, thinking that something's gonna happen. And as soon as the car pulled up, my head turned back, and I'm looking, and I'm watching the car. Malcolm, who is sitting in the seat behind Yak Fula was in a passenger seat with me up in the front, and Kay Castro, was directly behind me. Before the Cadillac pulled up, we're all just vegging. They're looking out toward the right. Cadillac pulls up, we notice it, and then all of a sudden, this arm comes out. An arm comes out, and he just started firing immediately. And I'm like, oh my God. And all you see and all you hear is...
Tupac, your life has been marred by considerable pain. Do you think you'll ever get to the point where you can live a normal, happy life?
No. I have to make the life that I do live as happy as I can and try to do the best with what I have.
After Tupac Shakur was shot in Las Vegas on September 7, 1996, he was rushed by ambulance to the University Medical Center. Doctors immediately performed surgery to stop internal bleeding, and over the next few days, he underwent a total of 3 operations, including the removal of a damaged lung. Despite being placed on life support and given intensive treatment, his injuries were too severe. Tupac died 6 days later on September 13th from respiratory failure and cardiac arrest. The murder of Tupac Shakur has inspired numerous theories, fueled by the East Coast and West Coast rivalry and the chaos surrounding the hip-hop world in the mid-1990s. One theory claims that Biggie Small orchestrated the killing, rooted in their highly publicized feud. Supporters point to diss tracks and escalating tensions, but there has never been credible evidence linking Biggie to the crime. He denied involvement until his death, and investigators have found no proof supporting the claim. Another theory centers on Sean Diddy Combs, suggesting he may have ordered the hit as part of the Bad Boy Death Row conflict. This idea mostly comes from rumors within the rap community and later documentaries, not verified facts. Diddy has always denied any role, and authorities have never connected him to the shooting. Similarly, a theory involving Suge Knight argues that he may have orchestrated the attack from within Death Row Records. Some point to financial motives or internal disputes as possible reasons. Rumors say Tupac planned to leave Death Row after his contract, sparking unproven theories that Suge Knight might have had motive. However, critics argue it makes little sense because Suge was in the car with Tupac during the shooting and could easily have been killed as well. No conclusive evidence has ever surfaced tying him to a setup. The fourth and most widely supported theory among investigators involves Orlando "Baby" Lane Anderson, a Southside Compton Crips member. Just hours before Tupac was shot, he was involved in a physical altercation with Tupac and Death Row associates inside the MGM Grand. Police long considered him a prime suspect, though he denied involvement and was never charged. This theory gained more traction when later accounts, including those of others connected to the Crips, claimed Anderson was the shooter. Anderson never lived to see the case formally examined. He died in 1998 during an unrelated gang-related shootout. The final verdict on Tupac's death remains unsolved. Despite theories and recent developments, no court has delivered a conclusive ruling, leaving the case officially unsolved.
Tupac Amaru Shakur has become a global symbol of rebellion. A symbol as visible and important as Malcolm X and Che Guevara, and an inspiration for activists today.
As the proud sister of Tupac Amaru Shakur, Tupac knew deep down that he was always meant for something great. Today, we're not just honoring a star on the ground, but we're honoring the work and the passion that he has put into making his dreams come true.